Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but right now it's time for more insight. This is insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. I'm your host. I'm Chris Moore. Today with me, I have a special guest in the building, y'all. We're doing something kind of different. Usually I give you sports content, sports adjacent content, but now we're just going to tap into who people are. And I'm excited about this conversation. Memphis is a city of soul, strength, and stories, but lately a headline made everyone sit up. Stephen A. Smith says that some of the NBA players were hesitant to come to the city of Memphis because they don't feel safe. For Memphis, that line hit real different. A lot of people had feelings about it because safety isn't just a stat. It's how moms tuck their kids in night. It's the vibe down on Beale Street. It's whether folks feel seen and respected by the badge. So today I'm talking with someone who spent over 3 decades in law enforcement, from patrol deputy to leading fugitive teams to now working as a federal investigator, who happens to be running for sheriff in Shelby County with one mission: to restore trust, rebuild safety, and lead with integrity. He's not a career politician. He is a public servant. Meet Mr. Pryor. How you doing?
All right. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. Before we get into everything, can you let me know a little bit more about yourself outside of what we see on the campaign trails?
Well, I'm a man of faith, first of all. I'm a proud father of 2 sons. I have 2 grandsons. I'm someone who really loves this city. And when I'm not working on the campaign trail, you can find me fishing, wiping on, one of my cars or whatever. Even get behind the ones and twos sometimes. I DJ back in the day and I still have a love for that. So, hey,
Oh,
I'm
man.
Memphis. Yeah,
Man, we'll get you to
everyday
do some
guy.
parties.
It's a part. That's right.
Yes, sir.
And Memphis is known for their parties too now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have been here for 7 years by way of Atlanta, Georgia. So I've enjoyed my stay here in Memphis. It has not been a bad move. So for everybody looking and listening, please understand that what you see on the news, what you're hearing from outside noises, is a lot of white noise. But Mr. Pryor, let me ask you this. Why did you want to run for sheriff for Shelby County?
Well, I'm tired of the crime. I'm tired of
Mhm.
everyday people not being able to enjoy themselves in this city. I'm tired of citizens being prisoners in their own home. You know,
Mm,
we're scared to go out at night, or we try to get home before it get dark.
yeah,
Restaurants close early. I mean, about 9 o'clock, everything is closed in Memphis, but that's because of crime, and that shouldn't be. That's unfair to all of us because we have bad actors in it.
What's one way that you plan to restore trust between law enforcement and the community?
Well, to bring trust back between law enforcement community, we just have to get back to being in the community.
That's
First
good.
of all, we have to be transparent with the community. We have to tell people the truth. I mean, it's such a big disconnect between law enforcement, and the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County. It's because we're out of touch. But if I'm elected sheriff, we would be in those neighborhoods. You would get to know me. I would get to know you. We'll be in those neighborhoods daily, not only just riding in cars, but on bikes, walking, getting to know each other.
That's good because
Mhm.
presence is everything.
Everything.
A lot of crime doesn't happen because of police presence. I just know that with presence, there's a difference. So I am looking forward to that change when you get elected. I'm going to put that in the atmosphere when you
There
get
you go.
elected.
There you go.
Mr. Pryor, what are some things that are different about you than the other candidates?
Well, I'm someone I just believe in Memphis.
Mhm.
And all my life, all my adult life, basically, I've worn a uniform. And that's from being in the military and at the sheriff's office. I'm a people person. I believe in serving the public. And I'm willing to do the work, not just someone who talk the talk. And that's why. And I want you to hear it in my voice.
I hear it.
That's why I'm running, because the leaders in the city has they're failed. They just failed us, and we just can't keep living like this. I mean, we just can't, man. We cannot. I can't stress that enough. We have to do something, and I'm the guy who's willing to stand between the criminals and the community. I'm going to stand up for the community, and I want to put these bad guys where they belong, in jail.
And I'm so glad that you said that. You mentioned that you're a father, you're a grandfather. I myself, I'm a father as well. What's your message to parents? And what's your message to young people? And what can they expect from you when you're elected?
First of all, I would have to partner with other local leaders, starting with the mayors. This Memphis, we have two mayors.
Yes.
So we have to come together and we have to invest in these children. One of our biggest problems is social economics in this city.
Yes.
That's really where the crime is coming from. We have to invest in kids. We have to create jobs. We have to create opportunities for them. We have to start with mentoring programs. And, as you see every day that, the federal government is cutting back money for programs, but we just can't give up there. We have to do something for ourselves.
Right.
So, in Memphis is a strong community, and we have people that's reaching out, that want to help, that want to volunteer. But to the parents, we just need to be a listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
People are crying out for help, and that's what a public servant is. He's a leader, and he's there to help you when in need, and that's what I am.
Man, Mr. Pryor, I love that you said that. As a father, that's definitely a concern. You just want your child to feel safe when they go outside. You don't want them to have to fear for their lives or even in broad daylight. And I definitely feel the passion in your voice. I hear that you love Memphis. I can feel that you love Memphis. How would you describe your leadership style?
My leadership style is, I'm someone who would be in the trenches with you. I'm not too good or too big or too high, too mighty, not to roll my sleeves up and walk the pavement with you. Get out here in the street, but to get in the car with you. If when I'm elected sheriff, hey, it's no problem with me sitting in the car with a patrolman. Let's ride. Let's get in these streets. Let's go talk to these families. Let's go see what's going on with this community. I'm someone who believes that officers should be rewarded for their work. It's so many times that you have great officers out here, and they between a rock and a hard place. They, the community will call on them when something goes on, and at the same time, they would call them names and act like they don't want them in their neighborhood. But we have to bridge that gap. We have to come together to understand each other, and that's where training comes in with officers. That's where a meeting with our citizens, talking, getting to know each other, and letting everyone know we're on the same team. We want the same conclusions when everything is over. We fighting for the same goals: safe cities, safe communities, and we can do this if we just put our minds together, open up our hearts, and just want to come together as a city in whole.
And I definitely believe the city of Memphis wants that to happen. I believe the Shelby County wants that to happen as well. It's just a matter of getting those right people in place. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, pointing directly at you. And I feel like you are one of those people who can do that. Let's kind of go back to go forward. For those who are looking and listening, can you make it simple for them? What is a sheriff's duty and responsibility to the county?
And, I'm glad you asked that question, because first and foremost, one of the sheriff's main goals is the care and custody of inmates. So, someone asked the question, why do you care so much about the inmates? Well, first of all, they're human beings. And under my leadership, even if you are incarcerated, because everyone in jail is there, everyone in jail isn't a criminal. And the jail is a holding facility, and you're presumed innocent until you have your day in court. So this is just so frustrating for me, because I'm so passionate about this. We just have to put the right leader in place. And when we talk about the inmates, some of them have done heinous crimes and some have not. You have people there for traffic tickets or mistaken identity. And, we just can't wash our hands with them. And when things happen in the jail, it becomes the norm. Someone died in the jail and, we don't make any noise about it. We got to be, hey, man, this has to stop. The sheriff, foremost, is responsible for the jail. He's responsible for serving civil warrants, civil subpoenas, arrest warrants, and patrolling the unincorporated parts of Shelby County. But you got to realize the sheriff is the highest authority. So the sheriff can go anywhere in Shelby County, and that includes Memphis, Germantown, Bartlett, Collierville, Millington. The sheriff is in all those areas, and the sheriff has many tools that he can use. And so don't be surprised if you see a sheriff in the city, in Whitehaven or North Memphis. Because when I was a young officer on the street, those are the areas that I patrolled. I worked the fugitive squad in most of those areas. So I was the one that was coming in, when these guys had warrants on them. When I was on the U.S. Marshal Task Force, that was me who was hunting these criminals. And we want to be very active. I want Memphis and Shelby County to know if I'm elected sheriff, we're going to constantly round up these guys. These guys that's making it hard for the citizens out here. These guys that's breaking in your cars. These guys that's stealing your cars. And when you come home, you look at your camera and you hear something going on in your garage or in your carport, and you can't even go to the door because someone's standing there with a gun pointing at the door, waiting on you to come out. This is senseless, man. And Memphis deserves better, and we cannot keep going down this road.
I couldn't have put it any better. Fortunately for me, I have two sheriffs that live on my street. So I'm constantly talking to them. I'm even having conversations with my son. He's only 3, but my conversation to him is always, the police are our friends. Okay. These are the good guys. So I want to instill that in him now. Have respect for authority, have respect for the police, and bridging the gap between the community and the department is going to be very, very key. You also mentioned that essentially you're in the middle of the criminals and the community. And I love that. And I love your passion when you said that you want to be able to take care of the inmates, because you are absolutely correct. They are people. But what really appealed to me is that it goes back to what you said before, is you being a man of faith. So you being a man of faith, how does that look for Shelby County as a man of faith? What's your prayer for Shelby County?
First of all, my prayer is for God to heal this land. I mean, we must, that's the ultimate prayer, to heal our land and to bring people together. Stop all this hate, stop all the madness. I mean, it's out of hand. We used to love one another. And I mean, we can get back to that through prayer. And that's one thing that you said that, because when I'm elected sheriff, I want to reach out to the pastors, to the churches in the community, because we have plenty of them. And if all of us can get on one accord, you have these pastor meetings. I mean, we can, and I would appoint not one liaison, but several. If I'm elected sheriff, I would put social workers on the ground, because social workers, they know every part of the community. They know all the programs. They're the leading force. And that's what I would have in my administration, and to put them with the church community. We can come together and start something fresh and new in this city. If we got together with every church in the community, and if they would just sow a seed of just $1, just $1 per Sunday, for a program in Memphis, man, we can make some big changes here. But that's why I say you have to have fresh ideas. You want people to think outside the box. I mean, let's come up with something, man. We can't just keep wanting to raise taxes, every time something go on. That's not fair to the people, We have to stop this police brutality. We have to, that's because when something happens bad in this city, who you think pay for it? You think when the families sue, you think that it's just free money?
Oh, man.
No, we're going to pay for that one way or another. I don't care if they say, your light bill going up, or your tags going up, or your taxes going up, or some kind of way they're going to get that money.
Some kind of way.
That's right. And so we have to stop doing this. But yeah, I would like to bridge the gap in the church community, with the sheriff department, with the business community, with the school system, with the colleges, the universities. They keep the stats on all of this. So, we can all work together, and man, we can make Memphis strong again.
A couple more questions, and then we'll get into some lighthearted questions. One question I have for you: when presidents are elected, they always have my first 100-day plan. When you're elected as sheriff, what do you see happening in your first 100 days? What are some things that you would like to implement within those first 100 days?
Well, the first 100 days, we would have to be structured. We have to reevaluate, and especially starting in the jail, because that's one of our biggest problems right now. We have too many deaths in the jail. Too many. We would have to reevaluate the medical department, because it's obvious that people are not getting proper medical treatment there, because every time that something happened, you have the administration that's there now saying that it was a medical emergency, or the jail is old. I mean, how long are we going to accept those excuses? So this has to stop. But yeah, starting with the jail, we're looking to that and getting that cleaned up. And we have to look into the morale of the sheriff's office. So many guys that I've worked with, they just surprised we need something fresh. Morale is very low. I want them to know that I'm looking into, burnout is a big problem at the sheriff department. So, and mental health problems are also. So I would like to implement a mental health day. So you feeling stressed, you just ain't feeling you know, you just not with it. You got a mental health day on the sheriff's office. If you got happy officers feeling good about themselves, they'll do a great job. I'm telling you, for years when I worked at the sheriff's office, I used to pinch myself every day. I'm like, they paying me to do this? I mean, I enjoyed coming to work, enjoyed it. And you had people that's been working, you have officers normally work for 30, between 30 and 40 years. I would have an open door policy to all the officers, open door policy to people in the community, because I want to hear what's going on. If I don't know, I can't fix it.
Okay.
So I want to know what's going on in my department.
Let's get into a couple of lighthearted questions. You mentioned that you were a DJ. Give me, let's see, everyone likes to let's do a top 5. Give me 5 of your favorite artists that you like to play.
But I had to go back to the old school.
That's all right.
Okay, what genre? What genre are we talking about? We're just talking about just
I'm going to leave it up to you. You can do whatever you want. You the DJ.
let's go. Well, I'm gonna start here in Memphis, because Memphis was what I started doing. So that was 8 Ball, MJG.
There you go.
It was Skinny Pimp. It was I'm back in the days with Ray the J and Spanish Fly. I mean, you probably don't know them. You say you've been here about 7 years. Back in the day we had Club No Names. Prentice on the Hill. We used to go down to Pressure World. With the Gangster Walking, with 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
So it's just back with that going on, man. Cause that was real Memphis gangster music. With the juking and everything. So I'm in that area, but like now I haven't DJed in a while, but I still have all my equipment now. Don't get me wrong. So
All right.
sometimes I still get back there and just play a little something for myself, just make sure I don't lose my touch. But hey, it's
I
all
love
good.
it. I love it. Give me a couple of your favorite Memphis restaurants.
Well, let me start with Cozy Corner. They Cozy Corner, they got that fire barbecue. I mean, Cozy Corner and Four-Way Grill. I love Four-Way Grill. And we had one restaurant, a soul food restaurant, just recently closed. It was called Girlies. Man, I could go there every day.
Man,
So,
I
yeah,
heard
man.
about it, but I missed my opportunity to go.
Yeah, but you missed the treat.
I know it. I know it. Let me ask you this, Mr. Pryor. Do you have a sweet tooth? Are you big on desserts?
I am. Well, I put it this way. I was, because you have to watch that sugar, but
I watch it.
yeah. So
You know, we're prone to it.
yes. So I've cut back on the sweets, but if somebody come with a sweet potato pie or banana pudding, I'm in there.
There we go. There we go. So I normally do sports adjacent type stuff. So I have to ask, I'm almost scared to ask this question. Who's your favorite football team?
I'm not gonna lie to you now.
I already know where this is going.
I'm just not into football like that.
Okay.
I can watch the game, but I don't really have a team.
But you know what? I'll take that over saying the Dallas Cowboys. I thought that's where we were gonna go.
But you know what? In Memphis, the rivalries are the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I might know 2 Kansas City Chiefs, but that's about it.
All good.
It's the Cowboys in Pittsburgh here that's, that everybody get crunk about.
Yeah. My father-in-law is a huge Cowboys fan, so come Christmas time, it gets a little tough to give him a gift. I start thinking he's a Cowboys fan. I don't want to get him nothing.
Let's get him a ticket. He'll love that.
You know what? You might have a point there.
Get him a ticket.
I know you mentioned that you fish. What are some other things that you'd like to do to relax?
Normally, like I say, I just get out here. I like to travel. I love getting on somebody's airplane, going somewhere.
Yeah.
Sitting by some water or putting my feet in the sand. But fishing and just, like I say, just
taking it easy.
Wiping on the cars, man. We love our cars, man. So, we just have to wipe them down and you just look at them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm part of this new generation. I go through the car wash. So I don't need to go through the car wash. I need to hand wash my car. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir. When I was growing up, I washed my car every day. I watch it till it's faded. I don't understand the young generation now. They won't wash a car, man. They don't. Man, we had to put rims and pipes and curb scrapers on there, man. Those were just the fun days, man. So, yeah.
I love it. Mr. Pryor, we end on this note. I gave you the stage before to talk to the parents. Now I want to give you the stage to talk to Shelby County. Give me your version of a campaign speech, and we'll go from there.
Well, win or lose, I want my legacy to show that, I'm a man of integrity, someone who stands for what's right. I love this city and I will fight every day for the citizens of this city and this county. I just lost a good friend of mine, Julian Bolton. I mean, he was a real people person. He was a lawyer in this city. He was somebody who would help anyone. He would bring anyone in. And I used to just like just sitting around, just listening to those guys talk. And they just had so much knowledge. But Memphis is a city that I love, that I would stand up for. I would be transparent. Once again, let me say, I would be transparent with the community. I would stand by the community. We cannot continue to do what we're doing. I mean, you can't want a different result and keep voting the same way. It hurts my heart to see, this city crumbling the way that it is. It really does. And if I can just be truthful, with the community to let them know that I am someone, if I'm elected sheriff, I will be the sheriff that Memphis and Shelby County deserve and wants.
Memphis, Shelby County, there you have it. At the end of the day, these titles fade away, campaigns end, but your word and your work will outlast both. And I believe that Mr. Pryor's work is going to outlast this campaign, is going to go beyond today. And I believe it's going to be a great future. You heard a man who's ready to trade out the slogans. He's tired of the politics as usual. He's tired of being unsafe. He's tired of Memphis getting a bad rap. He's tired of Shelby County getting a bad rap. You cannot ignore him anymore. He is here. The conversation is about safety, trust, and the future of this county just got real. Mr. Michael Pryor, I want to thank you for joining me on More Insight. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you opening up, being vulnerable, showing your heart. I know it's uncommon these days to hear that type of passion, and that is what we need. So I definitely appreciate you jumping on with me, and I look forward to the future. I'm excited about your future because it looks so much brighter than it does today.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on your show today. And
Absolutely.
I enjoyed talking to the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County.
Absolutely. Did you have any last words for anyone on your team, anyone that you wanted to shout out?
Well, I just want to say to the team for Pryor for Sheriff, I want to thank you for your hard work, and I want y'all to keep up the good work. And we got a long ride to go, and let's keep doing it.
There we go. I'm strapped in. I'm ready for the ride.